Mills Town Council on August the 15th to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remain standing for the prayer.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you for the practical. We thank you for our good town. Pray that you would be with this town safe. You would bless the Lord. And I pray that you would be with us. That you would make us wise. Decision making. And I just thank you so much for placing us here.
We need an approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or corrections?
So moved.
David McGowan made the motion to approve the agenda and Tim Brown seconded. We have the minutes of the last town council meeting, July the 18th.
Carry a vote on that.
Huh?
You can have a vote on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
I want to get this thing done, y'all. Let's move right along. Okay, thank you, Gabe. A regular town council meeting on July the 18th minutes. Any additions, corrections? J.C. Trippett made the motion to approve the minutes as written. Carolyn Dobbin seconded. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. We had the closed session meeting on July the 18th. All of you have looked at it. A
Make a
motion.
motion, we accept the minutes of July 18th, 2022.
David McGowan made the motion to accept the closed session minutes and Carolyn Dobbin seconded. All in favor, let it be known. Okay. At this time, we will open the open forum. Anybody wishing to make a comment, please come forward. Limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name, address. And if you would, please write it down on the paper that's up there.
Anniversary. Several months ago, the town council, talking about a place to put new town hall. Hawk Center around, moving across 7 Highway. Some about last time the people did not want that. One council member stated that they voted us in office and we can put it where we wanted at. That, to me, is an understatement. That would be your own agenda. You need to put it where the town people wanted at. The citizens want it. Not where I wanted that or where we wanted that. And in the June council meeting, I made comments about a need for maintenance building and a new town hall, and had not seen any or heard of anything being done to get either one of them started. I sat down. When I sat down, the mayor made a comment, something like this: there's things going on behind the scene that the people don't need to know about now. They got to wonder about that. What kind of things are going on that the people don't need to know about? They're the ones that put you in office. And they need to be updated on what's going on. I got to thinking about it, and the only thing I could come up with was moving across town, across 7 Highway, over on the Cold Creek property over there. The only thing I could come up with. And I put a petition together. And I started working with it. Of course, a couple more people worked with me on it too. And we got over 81 names of people that did not want to move across 7 Highway with Town Hall. They want to keep a Town Hall on this side of 7 in the original community of Wilson Mills. They just do not like the idea of trying to start a new town hall or a new community or a new Wilson Mills. And they just want an established community, which was established back in the 1800s here along Southern Railroad. And the move across 7 Highway is not their pleasure. I've got, like I said, I've got 81 names on the petition. And the petition reads, the community of Wilson Mills was established in the 1800s on the northeast side of 7 Highway along Southern Railroad. There are some today who want to move across 7 Highway and build a new town center with town hall, police department, fire station. I'm not in agree with this idea. I think town hall should remain in the established community on the northeast side of 70th Highway. And right here they are. Do I need to give them to Leanna or?
If you would, please give that information to the clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me first of all address something folks watching online. First of all is Philip, to my knowledge, I don't do anything outside of the realms of norms for the town council. Now, you were mayor and you know that there are some things that we can't discuss outside of closed session. So for you to allude that we should tell everything legally, we can't, and you know that. So know that you know as well as anybody that we cannot share every single thing.
Well,
We're bound by law.
well, you do have an idea of what some of the people in town hall and community want. They're the ones on this side of 7 Highway. Nobody's been across 7 Highway. They've been worked from Harrison Street back. to
Right, and I
Square.
understand that, but I've been here for 52 years all of my life. And for this long-time, lifelong resident, I don't care if it's on Bear Farm Road, we need a town hall. However, we have to make sure it's in the realms of what we can afford. Somebody may say, well, we need to put it right here. Well, if we can't afford it and they don't want to sell it, we can't put it right here. We can't make people sell us land. But as far as us keeping secrets from the public, I totally disagree with that. And I think that was very unfair for you to launch this way.
Well,
And you know, I think the world of you, but that's not the way we operate.
even if it was not supposed to be told out in public, I feel that it was improper to say there's things going on behind the scenes that people don't need to know about. Don't need to know.
Well, I don't know
about
who
it.
said that.
I did. I did.
But maybe it's because rather than just keeping clamped up, our mayor said something to maybe help a longtime citizen of this town understand something.
And you've said it too, Philip.
Huh?
You've said it too.
What?
You've said it too, that there are things that people don't need to know,
I've said what?
that there are things that people don't need to know.
Town
Sitting
could-
right here in this seat, you've said it too.
I said the town could not what?
You have,
I'm
said.
not understanding.
You have said that there were things that people didn't know, need to know at that time. So
I doubt that.
I know.
Well, my last thing I'm going to say on this, and then I'm done, is that you worked with everybody on this council when you were in that seat right there,
Mhm.
and you know how things work.
Mhm.
Now, it might not go exactly the way that I want it to go, or you want it to go, but we are a democracy and we have to do the best we can with legal guidance. So that's all I've got to say about that.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's property available on this side of the
What-
highway.
What we've got to do is, yeah, I know there's a lot of people in this town that that wants the town hall on this side of the 70. Back when we were talked about it, I was one of them that was wanting it on this side of 70, and I still want it on this side of 70. But that has nothing to do with what the practical application is when we get down to it. And what we have to do now is if we've got something that we might be working on, which I don't know for sure that we got anything right now. Most of the people you're talking to about buying from, they want it to be kept secret. And we have to keep it secret. That's what it's all about. When it's time to bring it out to the public, it will be brought out to the public. When we make a decision, and I want it to be made pretty quick, but that's not the thing. We have to do this in an orderly manner, and most of the time we have to do it in closed session. And I'm just saying that we're not trying to throw something over somebody's head. We're not doing that. We're trying to do what's best for the town with the idea of what the town wants. And there's a ton of more. What's the population? 2,500?
Yeah.
We got 2,500 people. And we're not going to satisfy everybody, just to be honest with you, but we're going to do the best we can. That's all we can do.
Thank you. Anyone else? I closed the first open forum at 6:42. I don't have any comments right now. Leanna? I'll let you jump in.
First item under my agenda is a policy. And this is it's called a whistleblower policy for the town. And this is one of the policies that's required for one of the grants that we're applying for through the police department right now. I will tell you that we've got several other grants for several other policies for some of these grants that we're looking into that we'll be bringing before you to approve. I won't throw them all in your packet at one time. But this one does need, for time's sake, this one does need to be approved tonight. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. And Chief Williams is here as well.
I have one question.
Okay.
Who's the compliance officer?
It's usually the manager administrator.
Okay, that's what I wanted
So,
to know. I wanted to know who that came under. So
Okay.
My question, Leanna, is just a simple question. It's the wording on this. Did we come up with this, or is this a boilerplate thing that other towns are using also?
It's a standard template.
Standard
that most
template?
towns-
Okay, then I make a motion, we approve the whistleblower policy for the town of Wilson's Mills as written.
David McGowan made the motion to approve the whistleblower policy, and Tim Brown seconded. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey, the second item is a discussion about council work sessions. And I apologize, that spelled incorrectly. I did the amendment. That was not Emily. I spelled council wrong. I just realized that. Some of you have talked about, with a lot of the stuff that we've got going on right now, the projects that are coming up with a strategic plan, having a lot going on at the regular council meeting, where we also have our open forums, our regular monthly reports, that it might be a good idea to have an additional work session of council to go over some of the more detailed parts of some of these projects that we're going to be working on. These would still be open meetings. They would be considered an additional meeting for the town council that would be open. They would be recorded just like these. And that's not anything that you would need to decide on tonight, but it's open for discussion where you can just kind of mull it over and we can talk about it sometime before the end of the year. We would need to talk with the school to be sure that we could add an additional meeting per month. Just because, again, it's not a closed session, it's an open meeting, just like everything else. It just gives you a chance to talk about some of these projects more in detail at some time other than the regular meeting where you're going over your basic monthly stuff.
In other words, what she's saying is we would have a work session and some of these policies that she's saying that we need to pass, we could look at them, review them, but not vote on them.
Talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when we came to the regular session, then we could bring it up and vote on them. But it would give us time to talk about them, make changes if we wanted to, or fix them so that we could all understand them. Because if we take all that time during our regular meeting, it's going to make an extremely long meeting. Because Leanna and Wendy are going to school to be able to get more grant funds. So we're going to have to be talking about how we want to spend this grant funds and what we want to use them for and what they need to be used for. And so it's going to mean more detailed from us to understand.
I don't have any objection to it. I'm just curious as to what kind of a turnout we would get. I mean, for me, it's easy. Carolyn, you're not working. It's probably a little bit easier for you. JC, working 5 days a week. You know, Tim is working 7 days a week. I don't know, would we have to have a counselor with us or not?
Would we have to have a forum if we, I mean.
We
quorum?
talked about this earlier.
You would need a quorum.
We would need. a
Oh, you do
quorum,
need a
okay.
quorum. I thought you meant, but I did talk with the attorney about it and it would change his contract a little bit as far as billing, but we would probably start it out on an as needed basis, depending on what the
What we're
subject
gonna
matter is
discuss.
for the work session.
If you wanted me
Yeah.
to, that was kind of what we're talking about.
Right.
It'd be your decision, really.
Yeah.
I think he just told you. But this is something that Leanna and I have been talking about because we've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up and a lot of these things. I don't think that we need to get them in our packet on Thursday and then vote on them on Monday. Because I think we need to talk about them and make sure that everybody understands what we're voting on. If
I'm
it's
willing,
not
I'm willing to
something
give it a
that's-
try, see
Yeah.
what happens.
Okay,
I think more than
yeah. Because if you don't, we won't understand.
Yeah.
And we may have questions that we can't answer.
Before we move to the next topic, I have a request. The sound that's coming from everyone, including myself, but I'm trying to listen to you. I have to listen very hard because the speaker pointing to the back, the sound is being bounced 2 or 3 times. Could we turn that speaker a little bit, since there's only a few of us, turn it, say 90 degrees to the right or 45 degrees to the right? Yeah, something like that. Let's see how that works. Okay?
Okay.
We'll adjust it from there, but thank you.
Okay,
So on that, if everybody would just maybe look over their calendars and see if, see which night during the month might work for you. Say, we meet on the 3rd Monday. If there's some time during the first week of the month that we could meet, that would also give us time that if you go over something at your work session that then needs to go in the packet to your regular meeting, we would have time for that as well. So there is a planning board meeting on Monday nights, there's events committee meetings on Monday nights, so it may not be a Monday night, but if you'll just look at your schedules and maybe get back with me before next month's meeting, we can look at some dates and you could vote on it then. if you wanted
Okay.
to.
Since I'm one of them, I guess I'm working a good bit. Anytime at night's fine. I don't have, I'm not, anything after 5:30, I'm good.
Okay,
I mean, if I have to get off a little early from work, that's not a problem. I just need to know in advance so I can let my people know. I can come Monday through Friday and that after work, around 5. I mean, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
I guess one of the ones we'd have to make sure would be Randy, because his schedule does vary. So,
right. And the attorney too, if
Yeah.
you want the attorney to be here at every meeting, or if you wanted it to be on an as-needed basis, because he has other town meetings
Right,
that he
right. We
attends as
need-
well. So,
we need to think about that. Yeah.
okay. All righty. The next item is the interlocal agreement with Johnston County, and attorney has got some updates on that.
Yeah, and just to touch, we'll add one last comment about the last subject. I do have a meeting on the first Monday of the month, regular meeting to attend. So that's not a good date for me. If you guys wanted me there on a regular basis, I just want to put that out there. So we did put this on the agenda, was to give you guys an update on the Johnson County interlocal agreement. It's it's been out there for a little while as we've been passing drafts back and forth between the county and the town. We sent a draft with our revisions to the county in October of 2021. And it was quite a while before we heard back. We did hear back from them with their revisions in May of this year. And it's been in our court since May of this year. And they made a number of changes, but the one that really has sort of put the brakes on it from the town's perspective, and I don't want to, divulge too much because it is an ongoing contract negotiation between us and the county, but is that the proposal by the county, or the revision really that has caused us to reflect quite a bit on the terms, is that we had proposed that the town would initiate a sewer feasibility study and a construction or capital improvement plan within 12 months of signing the revised interlocal agreement. And that would give the town some more visibility as to the practicality of developing its own sewer system, water sewer system, and water sewer department and everything that goes with it. But it left open the door for the town to decline to do that if the study showed that that was not a practical option for the town. The revisions back from the county were to require the town to have us to complete, and not just initiate, but to complete a sewer feasibility study and the capital improvement plan within 24 months of signing the agreement. And part of that would include as part of the sewer feasibility study would include a 5-year plan for the town to create and launch its own water and sewer system. And if the town did not do that and take over the system in 5 years, then the county would not serve any future development within in the town limits. So that would be a drastic impact to your ability to get future development in the town. So there's little option for the town to not do its own water sewer system in those circumstances. But what we want, and we've talked at the staff level about, is more visibility of the options that the town has at the current time with respect to water sewer services, particularly sewer. What other options other than the county? How long it'll take for the town to implement its own water sewer system, the cost, timeline, things of that nature. And we're hesitant to enter into an agreement with the county binding the town to anything without having a good idea at this time of what your options are. So Leanne, I've talked, and we're looking to really move forward as quickly as possible to get a sewer feasibility study underway. And that way the town could have the benefit of that, as well as whomever the consultant is, the engineer who provides that study, available to discuss options with the town. So that's kind of where we sit right now as far as this agreement goes. I've not gotten a lot of pushback from the county yet, asking for revisions to the agreement. You know, that may change tomorrow. I might get an email saying, hey, where we stand on this? But as of now, I'm not getting a lot of push. And so that was our recommendation from the staff level, is to try to get a better picture of what your options are before you ink an agreement with the county. Sorry for the long-winded explanation, but if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Does anybody have any questions, or are you following what is?
Should we quickly make a decision to do this feasibility study?
I think that is, yes, I think the answer to that is yes. I think you need that one way or the other. And Leanne, I think, has had a little bit more information about the, about how you go about doing that. She's been looking into those options, but yes, I think the quicker you get that underway, the quicker you'll be able to deal with this interlocal agreement.
I think we're gonna have to do that. That's just,
Well, I will tell you that I have had some conversation with the county.
Okay.
They have been questioning me about when we're looking at this and when are we going to get back to them. But it's not, I'm sorry, it's not that they are saying we need it now, but they want to know, have we looked at it? What are our options, and are we moving forward? So.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we've looked at it. I've looked at it,
Right.
staff's looked at it, and, you know, the fundamental aspect about it is that the town does have concerns about it, and are, you know, certainly want to be a good faith negotiator with the county, but we feel like we need to do our due diligence before getting in.
And
that
I
contract.
agree, because I think if the county realizes that we have started the feasibility study, then they will know that we are taking it serious. It's not something that we're just putting on the back burner, not thinking about.
And I think we've talked about this for
Yeah.
quite a while. Do we have a cost estimate, guesstimate on what this feasibility study would cost?
That's probably all over the page right now with engineers because of their availability and the way the pricing is lately on everything. But I will tell you that, as you all know, that's top on your list on your strategic plan anyway, because we knew it was coming. There is a grant from the Department of Commerce that this grant workshop program that Wendy and I have been going to Boone for, that is one of the grants that they're really steering us through. And at our last session in Boone, we talked about this one in particular that's $50,000, and that us doing a sewer feasibility would be very competitive to get that grant. So I'm not going to make you any guarantees or promises, but the members of that program would be much more competitive than anybody else going after this grant. And so I feel like we would be able to get at least the 50,000 for that. And I'm thinking, based on what we had looked at probably 7 or 8 years ago when we were talking about doing this, that at this point, it's probably going to be somewhere between 50 and 60,000, 75,000, depending on who you're talking to. And I did talk to the attorney about that as well, about putting out requests for qualifications, which is a little different than just going after bids, because this type of a study needs to be done by someone that is a little more familiar with the area and our situation, rather than the lowest bidder. Because somebody coming in with no knowledge, no prior knowledge about the area or what we have going on here or in the county, it's like starting over, and I think you're going to wind up spending more money anyway. But
Well, then you have add-ons. Absolutely. That's
Right,
exactly right.
right,
I do have a question for council. Is there any resources that the county has offered? Engineering, any of that sort of stuff that we could piggyback with, that knows the county, that has researched the county?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
So we don't think that's something they would be willing to do.
Well,
Or we
Yeah.
would not, would we just want to do it independent?
I think you would want an independent, you know, can go about it that way. I really do. I mean, not to cast any, aspersions on the county, but we want somebody who's looking into it from the the town's best interest.
Yeah, and I agree. That's, no, we don't want to cast any, no, none at all. I just thought I'd ask. All right.
You know, I think we need to put it on Leanna to start looking for somebody to do this immediately, not later, but immediately, to give us somebody that she feels like knows the area that would be able to do it for us, and then give us a price that we, whatever, again, it's gonna have to be done, so we're gonna have to kind of live with the price. I mean, and that's the way I feel. It's gonna have to be done. We need to get it done as quick as we can. We're probably gonna have to live with the price that she comes up with. Hopefully she'll come up with a good price.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
But I think we should right now, tonight, say, let's get started on this.
Well, yeah, I think that, subject to Leanna correcting me, I think that's a good idea. And she can always put out, the RFQ or RFP, whatever we decide is the most appropriate way to pursue this. And you won't be committing anything other than a little bit of her time until you actually get the responses back. At that point, that's when you would decide whether or not to pursue that any further. So I generally agree with that.
Do we need to vote on that or just give you the authority to do that?
No, because I can look into it and then I'll have to come back to you to vote on
Right.
whoever the contracts. I will tell you that grant opens September 1st. I do not think it's awarded until December, the middle of December 15th, I think. But I will talk with them when we're there next week to see if we can get the process going, at least approve the RFQ, RFP. And if they're in the process and we haven't paid for it yet, if we're still eligible to receive that grant in December. There may be some stipulations on how far we can get before we can get the grant money and pay for it. But I'll talk with them about that next week. But I think even if for some reason the grant timeline doesn't fall into place, again, this is in your strategic plan. If this were to be pulled from fund balance, then another project we're looking at could definitely qualify for this grant as well. We're still going after the 50,000. I'll just tell you that. So we're either the sewer feasibility or some of the other projects that we discussed in our sessions last month that we're going to go after that money. So
Well, I haven't heard any negative comments from any of the other council members. So I feel like we just need to bear down and say, yes, let's do it right. Let's get started on it.
Okay.
I mean, that's up to everybody else.
And-
Once we started with this, we need to tell the county to get them kind of back off a little bit, let them know we're working on it.
Well, I think they'll find out that we've started the feasibility and I think that'll go a long way.
yeah, and once we get that process going, we can send them a memo or an email and just say, just to tell you where we are on this so that they're
But
kept up.
I
to date.
will tell y'all this, that the other towns in the county are under the same pressure that we are. I went to a mayor's meeting last week and the topic was very strong about the fact that the county is pressuring all the municipalities to sign this agreement and none of them have signed the revised agreement yet. So we're not the only ones. So I'll just put that out there.
Theirs may be separate than ours.
Oh, yeah, they all
Yeah, we're
are.
not-
It's individual for each town, but none of them have signed the new agreement
And I'm just curious. Why does the county want to relinquish the sewer to the towns?
because they can't afford to pay for it anymore.
Okay.
They are just building this new plant and they've got to put in another one and the one they're putting in, the water plant, I mean, it's already out of capacity. And it hasn't even been finished yet. When it's built, it will be out. So they're gonna have to turn around and update it. They've already got it in the plans to update it in 2024 and it's not even completed. So the problem is that the county, I shouldn't say what, anyhow, okay, I won't say that in public, but anyway, the county has some problems with the financing and they want the county, the towns to help. That's majority of what it is. Okay, Updates. on
Last item, and I'll make this quick. I did want to update you since last month when you approved the strategic plan. Battery just died on the recording. Since you approved that following Friday, the 22nd, the department heads had a workshop all day. And I think I sent you all an updated email, but we did go over 12 different goals in your strategic plan that you talked about completing or at least substantially getting ahead on this fiscal year. And each one of those projects has been assigned what we're calling a champion. So a go-to person for that project. I'm going to send you all monthly a report on each one of these projects, and I will do it in printed form because I know a lot of you would rather have the paper in front of you. So I'll send you all a printed form that gives you updates on each one of these different goals that are in your strategic plan and how that relates to what you may or may not be approving at the next council meeting. And if we start these work sessions, we may be going over some of these at the work sessions as well. So, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Does anybody have any questions about the updates on the strategic plan? I will say that I attended part of that work session and I was very impressed with our staff. They did a great job. Ms. Sherry,
Good evening, council. In your package, you'll find the July 2022 financial statements. Do you have any questions or concerns? No? Okay. We're currently, I'm working with the auditor, sending him and his assistant reports and numerous reports and documents that they need to do our 21, 22 audit. So hopefully they're working on that, and so they will be completed soon.
thank you, Sherry. Anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Wendy? The planning department?
You have the staff report in front of you. Does anybody have any questions on that? You have the staff report for the planning department in front of you. Are there any questions on that?
We talked about, I think last month, having street names or something to help me identify or help us identify where these are located, because some of them I have no idea.
I am actually working on a map,
Okay.
trying to get a map together that I can give to you, that each place will have its own little color coded area.
That'll work.
It's gonna take me more than just a day or three to get that together because I want it all on one sheet, but I also want it large enough that you can see what you're looking at.
Mhm.
So I'm working with the county on trying to get that together because they have more capability with GIS than we do at the local level.
Okay.
Is that overkill, Wendy? What we were looking for, I
No.
thought was like, for example, cottages at Wilson's Mills, parentheses, Sutherland Road, just to give us an idea where it is, rather than maps and color code and.
Well, I can put the road names on here if that's what you're looking for. I thought you were looking for something like a map that would give you the proximity to where which.
My
area
impression,
it's
Wendy,
in.
was that if you just put a street name on there, we'll go, oh yeah, I know where that is. It's down past the whatever property. Rather than, go ahead, Tim.
But I do like the idea of having a map. I like that initially, but if you could, until you get that map, if you could do the road names, that would help.
We
I may
work
not know
on
where the
both of
road
those.
is, but.
Yeah,
but
I work
At
on
least
both
I
of
can
those.
look that up.
Would you have to print the map every month or?
Oh, I could print it only when there was a change. Unless there was a change, we wouldn't have to do anything different to it. And that way you would still have the same map. I have one that I use And I was gonna try to make that work for you as well, but it has potential projects on there as well.
Well, would we not have to bring our copy of the map back for every meeting so we can correlate the
Mhm.
two?
You would need to do that. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Homework, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
have to keep up with it, David.
Afraid so.
Not
Yeah,
good at
I-
homework.
I will definitely add the road names on there though.
For
to-
starters,
to
if
help,
we could
you know.
do that, that would be very helpful. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay.
Um, On the second page, out of curiosity, why are there so many fences without, on the zoning violations, fence without permits?
Because a lot of our new subdivisions that are coming in, the HOAs are telling these people that they are the final say in what they can and cannot do on their property. So the people are not reaching out to the town to find out. And when we go out and find these and send them a letter, we also make them pay the fine. Well, now the HOAs are starting to get in touch with the town saying, wait a minute. And I'm like, no, town has final say. A permit has to be in place.
Right.
So the HOAs have actually started communicating with the town a little bit more.
Wendy, is there a way we can kind of cut that off at the pass and have, when we get a community turned over to an HOA, that you or a representative from the town goes out and welcomes them to Wilson's Mills and said, here is what it is, and I'm going to keep you from having to pay fines to the town?
We've tried that,
Well, then they're gonna,
honestly. I'm in the process of trying to get like a developers meeting at the end before we do the final walkthrough. And when the streets go under warranty, basically that's when everything is turned over to the HOA.
and are you saying
And I'm
that,
gonna start requiring an HOA member to be present at that meeting.
okay. All right, well, that may help. We'll see. But, it would be nice if we could have, you go out and see them, but they don't
A lot of times
cooperate.
I've requested to attend HOA meetings.
Right.
And either they don't tell me when they are, or they call me today and say it's denied and they want me there within 4 hours.
Okay, just checking it out. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else have a question about the ongoing? Okay, Wendy?
The other thing you have in front of you is a request for a hearing on a rezone for 5300 Wilson's Mills Road. I just need for you to request the hearing tonight, and at next month's meeting, you'll have the hearing and you'll get more of the information on that request.
Do I hear a motion to
Yeah, so
call for a
moved.
public
So
hearing?
moved, Mayor.
David McGowan made the motion to call the public hearing, and Dobbin made Carolyn Dobbin, I forgot your name. Carolyn Dobbin made the second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And that's for September 19th.
September the 19th. Okay, thank you, Leanne.
Can you give me a quick rundown? We've all voted, right?
No, we haven't, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Did we vote on it?
No, we haven't.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question before we vote on it. This is nothing to do with the vote. It has to do with, Wendy, could you give me a quick rundown?
Oh, we did.
But that's
vote.
okay. You can
Okay.
still ask your question.
Okay,
We're both losing.
yeah, I know.
Okay, all right. Wendy, give me a quick rundown. What's the difference between SFR1 and SFR2, please?
The density, SFR1 is a higher density. Or excuse me, SFR1 is a lower
Lower
density. Fewer people
Right,
per acre, and SFR2 is sort of in the middle. Also, the size of the lots. SFR1 is 30,000 square foot lots, 2 is 20,000,
okay,
and then our 3 is 10,000.
okay. And where, pray tell, is the location of this? Again, it's
It is
Wilson Mills
Right down
Road,
the street.
Wilson's Mills Road. where-
Poplar Creek.
just past Poplar Creek.
Just past Poplar Creek on the
right.
right-hand side,
Uh-huh.
past the houses,
Mhm.
Mhm.
where he's got the Purple Martin houses up there?
No.
No, no.
it's not
Closer
that
than
far.
that? Okay,
Yes.
I'll find it.
Mhm.
And he's looking to put what in there again?
A house.
Just one house?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Now you can vote.
Huh?
Now you can vote.
I think you guys already
We
voted.
already voted. Me and Gabe was
Agree.
trying to figure that out.
I don't think it'll hurt if you vote again.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Okay,
Just to say this, and I think you guys know this already. It certainly doesn't hurt to ask questions, but when you're going to rezone a property, you're looking at all potential uses within that zoning class and not necessarily what an applicant intends to put specifically there. But, I just wanted to just say that, for the record.
okay. Emily, the event?
We are still having our farmer's market every first and third Saturday. We had a food truck at the last one and that seemed to pull a few more people in. We're gonna have at least one food truck this coming Saturday. Celtic Creamery is gonna come out again. We've been advertising that really hard so we can have people coming out. And speaking of HOAs, a while ago, I had one that came in earlier last week. And she really wanted to get involved in the community as a president of one of the HOAs. And I told her that we would get her some flyers. So hopefully that'll get the word out too. And then we're going to give more flyers to the school on August 25th, I think it is, for their orientation for the school year. So
Was it a new HOA?
I don't recall. I do not know if she was a new president or if she just found out, hey, Wilson's Mills has a town hall. Let me go talk to them. So I didn't, and I don't know what subdivision she was out of. So
You give the welcome flyers, is that part of it?
I did not give her any of those, but I know.
I am hurt. I am so-
But she said that she was going to stop back in. So I'm sure I'll give her some of those as well. I'll remember to give her some of those.
Anyone have any questions for Wendy? Wendy, I'm with you. Emily, I'm sorry, I call you Wendy all the time. Thank you. No. Chief Williams.
You got your report in front of you. If you have any questions.
I do, Chief. I was just looking, the numbers on the traffic enforcement, is that for 1 month?
Which number are you looking at? 200,
Uh,
we had 230.
no, 127, the next page.
That was Officer Dees alone.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. Was that just for a month?
Yeah, month of July.
So is that number added to the 236, or is this the other officers and then his report?
It's included in the 236.
Okay.
So 236 for the entire month of July.
How many complaints have you had?
One, just one.
Just one?
We have had one.
I've had some,
Mhm.
but,
Well, I think it's going to take some getting used to, and hopefully we'll be able to get the word out here shortly that we do have a traffic control enforcement officer. We have a lot of cut through people here in Wilson's Mills, and we still have a major problem on Highway 70, during the work zone. People, if you drive it often, people are still, going much more faster than the 60-mile-an-hour speed limit. And that's where a lot of the people are being pulled over for violations there.
okay, now help me understand this. This is my first report I'm looking at. 127 traffic stops, 126 violations. So do I assume that one person got a warning, but then I look down here, I got 3 warnings? Or do I add the traffic stops, vehicle collisions, complaints, speed enforcement, all of them together? And out of all that, there was 126 citations.
Yeah, it looks like the number's off there, one or two. Officer Dees, the one at 127. Most of his are gonna be violations.
Okay.
And, he's gonna issue citations. So the number is pretty much on, but yeah, there is a number or two off there.
And I guess there could be more than one violation per stop as well. So I mean, if it's a traffic accident or whatever. So, all right, I just wanted to.
That's correct. These are his statistics that he came up with.
Chief, I have two questions. Emily, you're going to need to power both of these things up with hardwire because we're both going to wear the batteries down. My question, first off, it's good news, but I'm just curious. Third item down, 17 new Dell laptops from the federal surplus program. Did we apply for that? I mean, obviously they didn't come knocking on the door and said, "Hi, you want these?" But that's pretty good deal, is it not? I mean,
Yeah, it's great. It's
are
a
these
pro-
laptops for the vehicles?
Well, it's a federal program, the Law Enforcement Support Office. We go online regularly. You can go on daily and it changes. And there are surplus things that are available for law enforcement. Problem is, it's first come, first served for all law enforcement agencies have access to it. And usually you have to travel to the location. It could be at Cherry Point, it could be at Fort Bragg. This particular one was in Norfolk, Virginia. So you have to go to the military installation to get whatever items there are when you find something that you want.
17 laptops at one time?
Yeah, they had.
Somebody find a shipping container on the beach or something?
They had probably several hundred of them available. We just asked for 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got in there. Now, are they for office use or they're not for vehicle use? Is that correct?
No, these are going to be for vehicle use.
Oh, they are for the vehicle. Because
They've
I
already been-
remember
They've already been upfitted, so they're ready to go.
years
So
ago, we had a problem. We used to have to get county
That's correct.
throwbacks. Remember that?
So as
We're no longer the stepchild.
the computers wear down, we're just swapping them out.
Good,
And
good.
it's-
Well, I'm happy. That's very nice. 17 new laptops. Good. The other question I had, where was it now? Oh, it's not written down anywhere. When I see one of our officers out on 70, sitting there, for example, my wife and I went out the other day and we went up to Fuquay Arena. And just as we did, an officer came out of not Swift Creek, Strickland, the other side, came out and pulled over on the 70 and flipped his light on, for traffic, right? For the construction. And we went all the way up. We came back. Now, I'm not saying he stayed there the whole time, but is that one of our two officers that's on duty just sitting there? Explain that to me. Is that a part-timer or what is that?
No, he does stay there. Those are the guys that are working with Flatiron.
They're working the what?
With Flatiron, the construction crew.
Right.
The off-duty pay, those aren't the
Oh,
ones,
okay.
have nothing to do with the ones working.
That's what I needed to know. That's
Active
all.
on
They're,
it.
they're off duty and it's
Right.
like an extra job. That's fine.
And they're doing whatever Flatiron needs them to do that
That's
day.
fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't one of our active officers sitting
No.
out there all day. Okay, thank you, Chief. And the next, the cameras, is that under yours? Is that what you're going to discuss next? Or what, am I jumping ahead here?
No, the cameras,
Pardon me?
the cameras are under his.
Okay. Can I ask you a question about the cameras?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So how are we doing? We've got this one I see over at the Mill Creek facing, looks like into Mill Creek.
Yeah, all 4 cameras that we purchased are up and running now. They're active. I just printed out some photographs
Yeah,
just to show you the
That's what I'm
angles.
looking at. That's nice. If you don't like the placement of a camera, can you move it? Or does that require someone?
We can move it to a certain degree.
For example, I see the playground, I see the children, and that's great. I'm trying to think like a bad guy. If I'm a predator, I'm sitting underneath, next to the restrooms, not sitting out there on the playground. So is there a way to maybe, I see you smiling, is there a way to move this and make it, that where it's a wide angle where you can, see coming and going from the playground, but also the pavilion area and the restrooms? I'm not trying to do your job. I'm just asking.
Not with that particular camera.
Okay,
We had a recent incident where there was some vandalism underneath the shelter. So we're working on right now, coming up with 2 additional cameras that would cover every angle of the shelter, that would get exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and also get part of the parking lot behind the shelter.
okay,
You can't do it with 1 camera. And all along, we had an idea that we need at least 3
right,
cameras.
okay. Yeah.
It just so happened shortly after we installed that one, we did have some vandalism that cost the town some money. So now we're faced with possibly putting up additional cameras. there.
What was the vandalism? To a camera?
Oh, not to the camera, but fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguishers, and then they busted them out and then set them off in the restrooms, and
Oh,
then
really?
damaged the little library that the church had out there.
Damage the what?
The little library that the church.
Oh,
put
yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
right, right. Oh, all of that. Okay, yeah, more cameras, right? Okay, thank you, chief.
So you're just gonna put extra ones at the park, right? You're not gonna put them in the other communities?
Yeah, we're just taking it 1 phase at a time.
Oh, okay.
The
So
2 we need right now would be at the park. And then as we go along, the idea is to continue putting them up the same way we did with Mill Creek,
Mhm,
the one
okay.
with the truck.
So you're gonna put some more, okay.
That's a perfect example of what we want to do at all the entrances of the new communities, actually all the communities, but in particular the new ones.
With respect to the one at Mill Creek, have you gotten any pushback from residents saying, why do I have to have a camera watching me come and go?
Not a one. And that
Good.
was HOA. The HOA actually went to the citizens and, well, I guess they told the citizens.
Okay,
The HOA approved.
Putting it there. Yeah.
yeah, it's not that we need HOA approval though, is it?
No.
It's a nice thing to have. It's a courtesy thing that we bring them in on it, but. Yeah, chief, yeah. All right, well, chief, you know what? We'll bring this up in private.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the next item, chief. You have another item?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the internet crimes against children. We received a grant, $22,600 and some change. And we pretty much got all of our wish items that we wanted for the grant. I think one of the items was $10,000 that would be part of the grant. And we had to bring that before you guys to approve that amount. But it all is all going to be grant funded.
Okay. So we need to approve this grant or approve this amount? Approve the grant award. Grant award. Okay, J.C. Trippett made the motion to approve the grant award and Carolyn Dobbin made the second. All in favor? Okay. Question? Okay,
Yeah, I know I read this the other day, but fill me in, the $10,070 has to come out of our pocket?
No,
What was the deal?
we were approved for
Twenty-
22.
$20,720.
$22,620.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you see on page 8 of 9,
Yes.
it's got it broken down, everything in that, in part 4, we were approved for, with the exception of the one item that's scratched out. My understanding is that because it was $10,000,
Anything over 5,000 still has to come before you, even though it's all being paid with grant money. But $5,000 is my threshold. So anything over 5,000 comes before council for approval.
to-
But it
to
is
take
being
care of this-
paid for
to
out of
take
the
care of
grant.
this gray key thing.
Correct.
And
Right.
I read this like Wednesday, so maybe I should not read it until the day before because it slipped my mind a little bit. What was the gray key?
Gray Key is, it's advanced software for encryption purposes. It allows for investigators to get into
That's right.
encrypted
that's
cell
right.
phones, computers.
Pull
that type
things
of
out.
thing.
So we're going to get that. We're going to pay for that ourselves.
No,
No.
that's all covered by the grant.
It's all grant money.
It's all grant money.
Okay.
No, it's all grant money.
Why is gray key highlighted?
I think the question is, why is gray key highlighted?
Yeah, that's my impression that that was the part
Because
of it.
it's over the $5,000 threshold.
Okay, all right. Okay, I
I'm with
got
you
you.
now.
I got you. Now I'm with you. I'm confusing. Never mind. I'm
Okay,
ready to
we,
vote.
we have a motion to award the grant as is at $22,620 is the total grant. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I
Thank
just
you,
don't want to
Chief.
vote on things that there's a little bit of gray area up in my head on it. I need to get it squared away. So, sorry.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Patrick, Public Works.
All right. True.
Good evening. You guys have my report. Any questions?
You have to put those fire extinguishers back at the community park.
Yes. We've already replaced them fire extinguishers and the cabinets that were busted. Yes, they have to be there. And we actually had to lower them for regulations because they had to be certain.
ADA.
Regarding your trailer, we approved 12 grand last time.
13,000. Yes, sir.
We approved 13,000 and you're going to get this for 11.5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like when things come in under budget.
Okay, we've got Patrick, let's talk about the trailer.
Okay.
You got 3 bids.
Yes, ma'am. I got one from East Coast Sales. It's $11,450. One from Rigsby, which is $11,500. And one from Leonard's, which is $11,999 plus tax. He told me just
Okay.
to look the price up online for that.
Okay, there's one that Patrick had preferred to have, and that is the Rigby's trailer. Would you please explain why?
The Rigsby trailer has a scissor lift. It spreads the weight throughout the whole trailer, the width of the trailer. The other ones have a piston lift. So more of the pressure is just in one spot. The scissor lift disperses the weight out, which I like better because if a load gets off to the side a little bit, it don't have the potential of flipping the trailer or busting the cylinder. So that's why I prefer the Delco from Rigsby Trailers. And it has ramps if I need to load or unload equipment also.
Is there any additional equipment that we need to supplement with this? I mean, we're under budget. We've budgeted 13. You got 11.5. Is there anything that comes with it that we have or that does not come with it that you'd like to have?
No, that comes with the tarp as well. It's gonna come with the tarp and the ramps. But the other ones, like the one from East Coast, even at the 11,450, that does not come with ramps.
What is it now?
The ramps,
Ramps.
Oh, ramps.
like
Okay,
loading
gotcha.
ramps
Okay.
for
The
loading and
road-
unloading.
All right.
And this one, the Rigsby comes with a tarp too,
Yes. it
and
has
the
a-
loading ramps?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's the better deal all the way around then.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain the scissor lifter again.
Yeah,
What is that?
the lift cylinder on that, it has like 2 points where it mounts. So when you lift it up, it disperses the weight across the whole width of the trailer.
Right.
So it makes it easier to dump and the pistons are just in one spot. And I worry about the piston if like a load's off center a little bit of it rolling a trailer or busting a cylinder.
Okay.
So I like the scissor because it disperses the weight of the whole
On the
across the
whole
whole way.
trailer.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion that we go with the Rigsby trailer. That's $11,500. It's only $50 difference, but from what you tell me, the ramps would make that much difference. So
Yes, sir.
the cost of the ramps, if we had to put them in the other one, would throw that much higher than what we got. So I make a motion that we purchase the Rigsby trailer at $11,500.
I have a question real quick. How long is that price good for? Because I see it could change.
We actually just, when did we got that on the 21st.
So is it going to be good tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right, I second the motion.
Okay. Motion made by JC to approve the purchase of the Rigsby trailer for $11,500, seconded by Tim Brown.
A question real quick before we
Okay.
vote, Is there a warranty on this, Patrick?
I'm not, I will check with him before we purchase that trailer.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Uh,
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
We will open the second public forum at 7:34. Anybody that wishes to speak, please come forward. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. State your name, address. No one wishing to speak. I close the open forum at 7:35.
I make a motion that we go into closed session, North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A5, acquisition of property.
I request that Sherry be allowed to sit in on this meeting. Okay.
Okay?
J.C. Trippett made the motion to go into closed session and David McGowan seconded. Oh, Tim, I'm sorry. Tim Brown seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you.
Mayor, before we adjourn or go into closed session, I just want to say on behalf of myself to the staff that is here, and I know I'm speaking for them, but we appreciate what you guys do. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes every single day. And we really do appreciate what you guys do, and you put up with us and our questions and our ignorance and and with us just not knowing sometimes, but thank you for what you do. And those people watching on Facebook, they do a lot. And I just want to say from us, thank you.
Well said.
Are we going to meet?
So that they
Yeah,
can
we're
clean
going to
up and-
recess.
Okay.